program, Dancing Heroes.
And now, for your entertainment pleasure, introducing the host of hosts, James Tsuneoka!
What do you need to get the Beatles back together again? 3 more bullets. Well, thanks for the warm welcome. Let's bring down the house for today's guest. It happened 3 years ago, the tragic accident in Monaco. Heat was a brilliant young driver, tipped to be the next Ayrton Senna. In that race, he was leading the pack by 33 laps. All he had to do was clear the last turn to cross the finish line. But the sun didn't shine on him that day. Heat's car spun out of control and crashed into the wall. The car burst into flames. The crash was heard all around the racetrack. Heat was carried to the hospital, barely alive, with third-degree burns all over his body. The doctor said there was no hope for him. That's when the miracle happened. He made a miraculous recovery from his injuries and was out of the hospital in 1 week. But he didn't have the will or the strength to race again. However, he felt a burning inner power within him. Ever since the accident, he's been able to shoot a flame from his hands whenever he wanted. From that point, Heat has been known as the Fire Boy, with an average body temperature of 45 degrees. Poor guy. Now, let's see what kind of sizzling moves Heat can do. It's time to bust a move. What do you say to someone who keeps asking the same question? Where were you when they were handing out brains? Isn't biotechnology great? And now for today's guest. Comet had the horrifying experience of being kidnapped. Out of patience from not getting the ransom, the kidnappers were going to ice her when, in a flash, the kidnapper turned into a green pepper. That's right. At that point, Comet realized she had magical powers. From then, Comet learned to love using her powers. Even when she looks like she can be trusted, she just turns someone into whatever she wants to drink. Better watch out, or she'll turn you into whatever she likes. Another heartbreaking story. Hey, Comet, quit messing around. And now, check out the magical steps of Comet. It's time to bust a move! I dashed to the hospital when I heard that my grandma was dying. With tears running down my face, I pleaded with her, "Grandma, don't leave me." As she was about to take her last breath, she slowly pulled me closer and whispered,
"Who the hell are you?"
The other half of my brain came to life. And now, for this week's guest. Shorty's father is an esteemed ambassador, and her mother is a supermodel. She was a neglected child because her parents were too busy with their careers. She would always come home to a big empty house. When she was scheming to do something mischievous, she spotted a present that her parents had left her. As she was ecstatically opening her present, The excitement building up again. She opened it. Out came a pet that she had never seen before. The pet immediately became attached to Shorty. Shorty named the pet Columbo. It devours any living creature that gets in its way. Thanks to Columbo, she said goodbye to all those lonely days. You're breaking my heart. Give it up for Shorty. It's time to bust a move. Hey, what did Snow White say to Pinocchio? Lie, lie till your nose grow no more. Peace be with all living creatures. And now, today's special guest. Strike has been gang-banging with gangsters from birth. 2 years ago, he was nabbed by the boys in blue with some help from a snitch that had been running with him. He turned over a new leaf while in the house of correction. Diligently, stuffing chopsticks into plastic bags every day, he was out on good behavior, having shaved 15 years off his sentence. All his gangsta homeboys came to pick him up. But what do y'all think he did? He turned to music. While he was behind bars, he and his prison buddies formed a band called Notorious, whose funky jams shot it into the limelight in less than 2 months. Their debut single soared to the top of the charts in no time, but that didn't matter to Notorious. There'll always be gangsters to the bone. In between recordings and live sessions, they robbed banks of their tissue paper, dancing to the rhythm of their guns. They are the street kings, messing with their own lives and the lives of people who get in their way. Living up to the name, Notorious. Yo, you're breaking my heart. Oh, look up. You messed up my new threads, man. Well, it's time for the colorful Strike to get down and nasty. Y'all ready to bust a move? A guy at a restaurant got his check and looked at it with bewilderment. He asked, "Okay, who ordered the tax?"
Does this mean that my hosting days are coming to a red light? A round of applause for today's guest.
TSUTOMO-kun is now in the 5th grade, but his big words make him sound like he doesn't belong in grade school. He's won countless speech contests. His father was a pro baseball player, and his mother was a top government official. Because of this, his classmates hated and bullied him. TSUTOMO-kun is short-tempered, and once he blows up, there's no stopping him. But one of his shortcomings is when he loses his head, he wets his pants. What a guy. Beside all this, Ms. Monroe, a teacher at his school, was always kind to the little fella. TSUTOMO-kun's dream is to marry Ms. Monroe as soon as he turns 18. Oh, now isn't that nice? Hold that thought. Don't wet your pants just yet. All right, let's see what you can do on the dance floor. It's time to bust a move. A guy is on a plane that's about to crash and looks frantically to the stewardess. She used to be a nurse. She says,
Don't worry, you won't feel a thing. Now, is this present from the coroner's lab?
"Put your hands together for today's guest." Lala is an alien from the planet Capoeira. Their race was supposed to conquer the planet Earth, but Kiki Lala has a personal goal. His goal was to be on an old Japanese tin plate signboard. Starting with the Japanese star Matsuyama Yoko, who modeled for a curry signboard, with every penny he collected as many signboards as he could. One day, Kiki Lala mail-ordered a rare juice signboard costing 3 million yen. But to his surprise, it was a fake. There you have it, the careless capoeira alien Kiki Lala. Oh man, I feel for you. Hey, not the face, just the body. You okay? Let's see what kind of radical, spacey moves you have. It's time to bust a move! One day, a stuntman was run over by a truck. The paramedics come rushing in and ask the stuntman,
Did you get permission from the director to do this stunt?
well, thanks for the warm welcome. Let's bring down the house for today's guest. A year ago, Bio was just your ordinary father. One day, his lab freak son, Gasso, came home. He could not take looking at the peculiar gas mask that his son always wore, and told him to take it off inside the house. Gasso was proud. He refused, and they got into a heated argument. As things escalated, his father grabbed an axe from the wall. To protect himself, Gasso sprayed his father with his gas. The gas started eating his father away. Gasso's rage was uncontrollable. He took the axe from his father and hit him on the head. Because of his deformity, and the axe still stuck in his head, neighbors started calling him Bio. None of the doctors could restore his face. No matter how hard they tried, the axe wouldn't budge. Now, the only hope he clings to is that one day he can play catch with his son again. Oh, I think I'm gonna cry. Stand back, leave it to me. Let's all root for the new Bio. It's time to bust a move. There was this corporate official who was held up. After he'd given all his money to the robber, he asked, can I get a receipt? Was that jamming or what? Hey, here's today's guest. HIRO just moved into an apartment built in '75 with a rent of 15,000 yen. The two loves of his life are his computer and himself. He has a habit of combing his hair frequently. He even dares bugs to come close to his dew. HIRO-kun's most precious thing. Normally, he looks like an earnest guy. But look out! On Saturday night, he transforms himself into a slick-talking playboy. The chicks go crazy over him as he shows off his moves on the dance floor. But HIRO-kun, to tell you the truth, he's shy with women. HIRO-kun hopes that the day will soon come when he becomes a man. I feel for you. Hey, HIRO-kun, how do you like my hairdo? Now, for HIRO-kun to groove his moves, it's time to bust a move! Did I tell you about the time I went over to a cockroach's garbage pad he said,
Sorry for the mess. Peace to all living creatures. And now, let's welcome today's guest.
Kitty N hosts a primetime show, Miracle 5, which has made her a star. Last year, she broke with the band Miracle 5 and went solo. Her fly body and dainty mask won her fame and popularity. Rumiko, now stalking Kitty N, burns with envy. She's hatching a plan to get rid of Kitty N once and for all. Her jealousy won out, and she sent prank messages and threats to Kitty's house. But Kitty didn't let this bother her, and she continued to be a star. Love gave her the strength and energy to carry on. Kitty's dance instructor wouldn't even give her the time of day. A secret hidden deep inside, Doi, the instructor, is unable to fall for a girl. This strengthened her love for her teacher, Kitty N, age 17, on a mission of love. You're breaking my heart. The super cute, super lovesick Kitty N. It's time to bust a move. One day, a patient asked his doctor, "What's wrong with me? I can handle it. Just give it to me straight." The doc's face became really grim. He said, "It's so horrible, I can't even tell you." Hey, that was a pretty sturdy shelf. And now for today's guest. Kelly loves dressing up in costumes and going to those underground parties. But one night, she bumped into one of the managers at the company she works for. It just so happened that Kelly secretly had a crush on him. The manager sneered at Kelly and said, "I had no idea you were into this kind of thing." Her heart was broken because of her secret. From that point on, she said farewell to the baby suit that she always wore. Henceforth, it would be the new police uniform. With the authority that the new police uniform gave her, Kelly bid adios to her old passive self. She was reborn. All the guys at work were making passes at her. I guess love changes people. Good luck, Officer Kelly. What a change for the better. So, how do you like my dinosaur face? Kelly, are you ready to blow your whistle and take the dance floor? It's time to bust a move! A relative who was secretly receiving plastic surgery asked her, "What kind of magic did you use?"